not too long ago, I shared two photos of a translucent leaf. And I said, well, I don't normally do this, but I'm going to have a series of two photos. Um, yeah, here we go again. I'm going to say I don't normally do this, but maybe I do it more often than I realize. This is the first in a series of four photos that I took at Holmes Lake in Lincoln, Nebraska, when we were up there to see family and friends. And it was just a singular experience because the entire lake was covered in fog. I have never been in a situation like this at all. Like I've experienced fog. I think it's safe to say we've all experienced fog. Sometimes I'll step out my front door and I'll be like, wow, it's a foggy morning. But this was like the thickest fog I have ever seen. It was so thick. I don't know if I'm remembering this correct, but you could practically wave your hand in front of you and almost feel the fog, like the drops of moisture hitting your hand. It was so foggy. So we went on a walk. Me and my wife, our two kids, my brother, his wife, and their two dogs. So 8 of us in total. And we wanted to get out and just spend some time together. So they said, my brother and his wife said, hey, we need to take the dogs for a walk. They actually live not too far from here. And they said, well, what do you guys think about coming with us around Holmes Lake? I said, sure. So I actually brought two lenses. I brought my D750. I brought my macro lens, my 105 millimeter macro, and my 50 millimeter lens. And I didn't know what to expect. And I didn't know I was not prepared for the sheer quantity of fog, like the level of fogginess. It was unreal. And I'm super happy with how this and the next several shots turned out. So this is right after we started walking down the path that circles the lake, or not circles, because it's like it circumnavigates. It's not a circle. Off to the left, what you can't see is everyone else just continuing to go. This is like a little extension from the main path that just kind of went towards the lake shore. And I really like how it was framed. You've got this path right down the center, and you've got these plants on the side. And then it was like you're peering through a doorway into this foggy background, this lake back there. And you can see the shore way in the distance, but completely obscured by fog. I don't know how close or how far it was. I really don't remember. And it's not like I didn't bring any measuring instruments anyway, but it wasn't that terribly far. And yet it was just completely covered in fog. I don't know if this photo adequately captures just how foggy everything was. I don't think it does, but hopefully the next couple of photos, you'll get an idea. I shot this at f4 because even though it was broad day, it was like 2 in the afternoon or something. There was so much fog, we didn't have much available light for shooting. So the exposure on this was f4. Remember, this is in the afternoon. 100 or 1 at 2/50th of a second, ISO 100. Now, normally you shoot at f4 in broad daylight, you're going to get a shutter speed of like 1,000th or 1,500th of a second. Not so much here. So that might give you a sense of how little light there was. It was a really fun experience. Well, I wouldn't say fun. It was interesting. It was eerie. It was something else. I'll say it was a singular experience. And one that I don't imagine will be repeated anytime soon. So I'm glad I have my camera there to capture it.